Graduands, at the appropriate time, you'll be invited by the stewards to stand and to make your way to the foot of the stairs, ready to head up the stairs and across the stage. All very straightforward. There are two key things which make for a seamless ceremony. Firstly, as soon as the person ahead of you begins to cross the stage, please make your way up the stairs. Please don't wait until they've crossed the stage before you reach the top of the stairs. Secondly, don't let pride and excitement overwhelm you so much that you forget to pick up your degree parchment after you've crossed the stage. If you do, don't worry, you have still graduated, but don't try to go back because you will collide with someone coming the other way. Instead, please visit the Graduation Information Desk in the Spring Lane building 30 minutes after the ceremony to collect your parchment. At the end of the ceremony, graduates are asked to process out of the hall, directed by the stewards. Family and friends, the stewards will show you to the exits once the graduates have left the hall. If the fire alarm should sound at any point, please remain in your seats, instructions will be given, and we will escort you to the nearest exit. As graduates, you will join an international community of over 123,000 York alumni in 183 countries. The York Alumni Association organises events, networks and services designed to help you make connections with other alumni across the world and to support you in your career choices. Please do visit the Alumni Association stand in the Spring Lane building, where you can pick up your graduation gift to welcome you to the Alumni Association. As you move into your first job or take up further study or training, please remember to keep us updated with what you're doing. Understanding the career paths that you take will help us provide the right support for current students and make sure we offer graduates like you relevant information and opportunities. Finally, please turn your mobile phones to silent, and will you all now please stand?
Good morning, everybody. I declare this congregation open for the conferment of awards. Please be seated. Ladies and gentlemen, as Chancellor of the University of York, I have the greatest pleasure, the most fantastic pleasure in welcoming everybody here this morning against all the adverse weather conditions. You've made it, I hope, undampened and undaunted into this great auditorium for our ceremony this morning. I know that people have come here from across the world in order to join us for what is a ceremony, I would always say, of two parts. It's a ceremony which has, first of all, a formal purpose. It's a formal purpose through which, through some magical alchemy that's vested in me as the Chancellor, as each of these innocent graduands as we call them, comes up onto the stage and shake hands with me, they are converted into graduates of this university, and they walk free out into the community with the benefit of a degree from this great university. So that's the formal part. But there's also, I think, the informal part, that this is a celebration. It's not just a formal ceremony of conferment of degrees. It's a celebration of achievement of those who are sitting in the middle aisles of the auditorium today. We structure our awards within universities according to a time-honored model in which there are a series of diplomas. There's the bachelor's degree, which derives from the Latin of baccalaureus, which is the fundamental degree, usually of 3 or 4 years study, sometimes with a year abroad, sometimes with a year in industry or some other multiple. There's then the master's degree, which comes from the Latin of magister, and master in those days had no gender specificity. But what it meant was a license, effectively, to teach. So a candidate who held a master's degree from one university was informally recognized as capable of being a teacher at another university. And then there's the doctorate degree, or from the Latin docere, to teach, which is the ultimate degree, which in this university, as in most, is conferred in 2 different ways. The first is the most common doctorate degree, which is the doctorate of philosophy. It's, by the way, it's not philosophy as the specific academic discipline in which I will be awarding some degrees this morning. The Doctor of Philosophy uses philosophy in the ancient Latin sense of philo, to love, and sophos, of wisdom. So a Doctor of Philosophy is a doctor of the love of wisdom. I love that characterization of what a Doctor of Philosophy truly is. But the second level of doctorates is what we call the higher degrees. The Doctor of Science, the Doctor of Literature, the Doctor of Laws. And those degrees are conferred, again, in 2 ways. The first is quite commonly for an alumnus of the university who's had a most distinguished career, mainly in publication or the advancement of science, to submit a collection of their published works, and then an award of the degree is made. But the second way in which we do it is something called an honorary degree. And this morning we will be conferring an honorary degree on Gavin Esler. The function of an honorary degree is to recognize a lifetime of outstanding achievement. It's somebody whom is honoring us by accepting an award from us as we honor them through the award that we make. It's a very special opportunity to be able to demonstrate to our students what it is to be a graduate and what it is to succeed in life. So you may ask, why is he going on about all these Latin derivations and all of these ways of doing business? Well, the answer in part, I think, is to demonstrate a fundamental truth about universities. We are long-run, long-term institutions. We have this curious paradox at the heart of this, which is that no university will thrive in the modern world unless it's focusing on the immediate problems, the immediate scientific paradoxes and challenges of the day, and solving them through discovery and through new knowledge. But at the same time, an institution that is long-run. Why is it, for example, that we are today dressed in garbs which would have recognized in a medieval monastery? And not only at the University of York, which, by the way, is a very progressive institution, but if you went to a university in Taiwan or in Singapore or in Brazil, you would see the same sort of graduation ceremonies and the same sort of clothes being worn. So that demonstrates to us that not only are we long-run institutions, but that we are internationally engaged in the pursuit of knowledge as a global endeavour. So it's reassuring in an era where politics are fractured, where the post-war consensus is starting to evaporate, and where across the world we see a growing gap in inequality, that we have long-term, long-run institutions. But that is, I think, a reassurance as we look at what the future will hold for our graduating class today. Let's understand the direction of travel that we can start to sense across the world. We've been through 3 major industrial revolutions in the last 150 years. The use of water and steam power to allow production to be mechanized as opposed to be artisanal. Secondly, the use of electricity to promote mass production. Thirdly, through the last 20 to 30 years, the increase in the use of IT and automation to automate production. But the 4th industrial revolution, which is already upon us, is of a different scale and of a different capacity and impact than anything before. It is the revolution in which the digital and the physical and the biological start to come together in dramatic new ways. At the heart of much of this is data, and the use of data to allow us to understand more intimately the huge problems that the human brain alone cannot solve on itself. One of the aspects of this revolution is in artificial intelligence, or more accurately described as augmented intelligence, in which computers, machines, start to model the thinking processes of the human brain. They start to develop a quasi-cognitive capacity. And we can use this power for the very good things that we would wish as a society to achieve. If I could just mention, for example, in connection with my chairmanship of NHS England, we already are starting to see artificial intelligence moving into healthcare. And I cannot but imagine that in 10 years, present practice of healthcare will in many ways resemble anything that we're doing today. We know that we can use machines to better recognize X-rays, to better recognize images in pathology, to transform and automate and expedite and with greater accuracy move towards a model of personalized medicine. That is but one example. The broader hypothesis for us today, I think, is what does it mean for the world of work? Do nations need a world of work? As we consider the globalization of the last 30 years, what it has achieved has been an extraordinary uplift in the GDP and in the conditions of living of a large proportion of the world's population outside the West. Indeed, within the Western nations, the prosperous nations, if anything, the impact has been a stagnation of middle-class incomes, which is one of the factors that has led to the fracturing of our contemporary politics, which many in the audience will understand far better than I do, given that that's your special subject. However, we have, I think, in the future, a choice as a society. Is this new technology going to continue to increase global productivity and enhance living standards across the world? Or is it going to hollow out employment, and is it going to create an even greater gap between the haves and the have-nots? That is not, by the way, a technological choice. That is a political choice. That is a choice through which our democratic institutions must weave a most cautious way through. The best way to look at this, I think, is to understand that we have moved from an era in which the wealth of nations could be described as being vested in capital and finance and in labor, to an era in which the wealth of nations is actually education. The wealth of nations is talent. And those who have talent and who have education are the best guarantees against the hollowing out of employment and against the widening of inequality across the world. Indeed, it's inequality in the less economically advanced world that is being tackled already by education, which is raising standards of performance and production in that part of the world. So, although in many minds the apocalyptic nature of the new technological revolution is deeply concerning, when I look at a graduating class such as this, I have the reassurance that the world is in safe hands for the future. It's not automatic. One recalls the story of the young man who had been, while still at university, signed up as a graduate management trainee at a large corporation. And 3 weeks after his graduation, he went into the office for the first time and he met the chief executive. They had a very good conversation, welcome on board. The chief executive said, "Now, your first task, take this broom and go and sweep out the foyer." To which the young man replied, "But I'm sorry, I'm a graduate, there's been a mistake." And the chief executive said, "I do apologize, I had overlooked that. Here, give me back the broom and I'll show you how it works." So, we have no entitlement. The world is not ready for us to enter it arrogantly, but the world is ready for the wealth of talent that graduates of the University of York will bring to it. Thank you.
The Chancellor's Leadership Prizes recognise and reward the most talented, ambitious and driven students who have excelled on the final stage of the University's York Award. A Chancellor's Leadership Prize has been awarded to René Alliong from the Department of Social Policy and Social Work.
Chancellor, I have the honour to present the following candidate for the degree of Doctor of Philosophy in Environment and Politics. For research on sustainable and intelligent mobility, it was my personal pleasure to supervise Jean-Paul Skeet. For the degree of Doctor of Philosophy in Politics, for research in myth and violence in modern political theory, Benjamin Twishtek. For research in corporate and role identities in international relations, Jay Coombs. For research in theatre-based migration research in South Africa, Lena Sophia Opferman. For research in transformative justice in South Africa, Vera Riffler. For research in underrepresentation of Sindhis in civil services, Noreen Nazar Sumro. For the degree of Doctor of Philosophy in Post-War Recovery Studies, for research in the reintegration of Colombian child soldiers, Alexandra Maria Kiss. For the degree of Master of Arts in Conflict Governance and Development, Elizabeth Duot. For the degree of Master of Public Administration with Professional Placement, Yun Mi Byun. For the degree of Master of Public Administration, Gutai Karam. The degree of Bachelor of Arts in English and Politics, Dakota Blacklaws Lacey. The degree of Bachelor of Arts in Politics, Scott Adams. James Bastin. Timothy Began. Suhail Chowdhury. Amelia Collins. Andrew Cull. Laura Cunningham. Amy Davison. Callum Delhoy. Joshua Dickinson. Patrick Diskin. Dominic Fanning. Alexander Finnan. Henry Goddard Pantic. Toby Gould. Amelia Ginchard Cox. Liberty Hibbard. Shannon Jameson. Dominic Keane. Emmanuel Kempton. Sarah Kennedy. Alexander Kirkup. Lena Kukai. Imogen Lather. Sophie Leishman. Adam Maunder. William Mitchell. Brunilda Moller. Sarah Muir. Harry Jake Ollis. Will Pendlebury. Isabel Plater. Matthew Pugh. Edward Ray. Stuart Sanderson. Aaron Spears. Josh Sulkin. Grace Thompson. Rory Ward. Joseph Whitfield. Charlotte Williams. Carl Williams. Rodri Williams. For the degree of Bachelor of Arts in Politics with a year abroad, Henry Honeywood. For the degree of Bachelor of Arts in Politics with International Relations, Laura Abbott. Abigail Alberti. Callum Alston. Maximilian Bagnall. Sarah Buffum. Eleda Kakir. Jose Camacho Caicedo. Caroline Carruthers. Hugh Yan Chung. Jessica Collins. Frankie Kopp. Dalma Chabrak. Jens Dahl Granley. Jack Daniel. Luke Davis. Rihanna De Rosa. Charles Dransfield. Henry Dufosi. Abigail Etok. Brandon Freeman. What's happened? Did I miss? Oh, sorry. Thomas Farrow. Johann Gester. Ibrahim Gonidagli. Thomas Gardner. Rory Hannon. James Hare. Niall Hegarty. Madeline Hayward. William Hoyton. Jusuke Ito. Finn Judge. Jane Kennedy. Shreya Keshwala. Mikhail Kupriyanov. Axel Laundy. Ming Young Michael Lee. Denis Lenoy Gorbachev. Mu Chun Leao. Alan Liss. Leticia Isabel Lopez Hoya. Lu Hui. Hector Macduff. Ellen Madden. Aurora Mattaini. Georgina Maycock. Jonathan Moynihan. Liam O'Connor. John Porter. Gabriela Prigotsky-Espina. Alice Roberts Dunn. Jack Robinson. Callum Ronald. Tobin Ronald. Robert Russell. Maida Sablavinskite. Parmis Salem. Cameron Schuster-Bruce. Henry Shears. Oliver Simmons. Ilyas Litti. Heidi-Ann Stedderford. Jordan Stevens. Katrina Stothard. Yutong Tien. Harry Trotter. Madeline Turner. Christopher Van Dort. Wan Chin Yuan. Calvin Wilson. Nargiz Zulfieva. For the degree of Bachelor of Arts in Politics with International Relations with a year abroad, Mei Rin Long. Gabriella Obong-Nyako. And James Britton.
Ladies and gentlemen, Ensemble Eonomy will perform Moon Dance by Van Morrison, arranged by George Clark, followed by Bridge Over Troubled Water by Simon and Garfunkel, arranged by Ellie Pybers.
Marvelous night for a moon dance, with the stars up above in your eyes. A fantabulous night to make romance, neath the cover of October skies. And all the leaves on the trees are falling to the sound of the breezes that blow. And I'm trying to please to the calling of your heartstrings that play soft and low. And all the night that dark seems to win. And all the sun of the day seems to shine in your blood. Can I
just have one more dance with you. Can I just make some more dance with you? My love.
Well, I wanna make love to you tonight. I can't wait for the morning to come. And now I know now the time is just right, and straight into my arms you will run. And when you come, my heart will be waiting to make sure that you're never alone. There and then all my dreams will come true. There and then I will make you my own.
When every time I touch you, you just now I know how much you want me that
You can have, can I have some dance with you? My love, can I just make some dance with you? With love.
Can I just have one more moon dance with you?
My
When you're weary, feeling small, when tears are in your eyes, I will dry them all. I'm on your side.
Just can't be found like a bridge over troubled water.
I will lay me down
Like a bridge over troubled water.
I will lay me down.
When you're down and out, when you're on the street, when evening falls so hard, I will comfort you. I'll take your part. Oh, when darkness comes and pain is all around, like a bridge over troubled water, I
silver girl, sail on by. Your time has come to shine. All your dreams are on their way. See how they shine. Oh, if you need a friend, I'm sailing right behind, like a bridge over troubled water. I will ease your mind, like a bridge over troubled water. I will ease your
Chancellor, I have the honour to present the following candidates for the degree of Bachelor of Arts in Social and Political Sciences. Kaya Ambler. Rachel Atkinson. Ruth Avey. Amara Barrett-Willett. Kate Bowman-Worrell. Chloe Carson. Rivni Cloesi. Muiza Harun. Tuva Hope. Megan Hutchinson. Laura Johal. Heather Lamb. Eve Lewis. Jonathan Machetti. Molly McMahon. Aisling Mousson. Chloe Rowan. Kane Silva. Rebecca Smith. Lucy Topham. Lydia Watt. Joseph Waters. For the degree of Bachelor of Arts in Social and Political Sciences with Philosophy, Cameron Blythe. Duina Kresovic. George Popov. Natalia Said. And finally, Lee Map Ratton.
Chancellor, I have the honour to present the following candidates for the degree of Doctor of Philosophy by Publication in Social Policy and Social Work. For research in reconceptualising gender and homelessness, Joanne Bretherton. For the degree of Doctor of Philosophy in Social Policy and Social Work. For research in subnational crime and justice policy transfer, Laura Bainbridge. For research in public health governance in Hong Kong, Ka Wo Fung. For research in self-disclosure in mental health services, Jonathan Lovell. For the degree of Master of Arts in Public Policy and Management, Faye Dickinson. Carly Waddleton. For the degree of Master of Arts in Social Work, Amy Bendel. Miriam Burr. Helena Fish. Emily Hawkins. Marsha Herbert. Sarah Hughes. Jessica Lukasevich. Amy Lunt. Christopher McNerlin. Michelle Potts. Rebecca Robinson. Anna Stevenson. Hannah Voot. Sarah Walding. Abby Williamson. For the degree of Master of Public Administration, Comparative Applied Social and Public Policy, Evaluation and Research, Annette Bonifon Cisneros. Yunhee Do. Ramadina Fatima. Nur Saribulan. Yuri Yokoyama. And Kyung-suk Yoon. For the degree of Master of Public Administration, International Development, Fidelis Karanja. Mandeepa Machacha. For the degree of Master of Public Administration, Mark Simmons. Aynan Sneer. Luis Miguel Valentin del Bosque. For the degree of Postgraduate Diploma in Social Work, Natalie Asquith. Lauren Finn. Jessica May. Catherine Shannon. For the degree of Postgraduate Diploma in Social Work Practice, Think Ahead, Faye Piper. For the degree of Bachelor of Arts in Applied Social Science, Harry Anstock. Louise Dunn. Hope Graham. Liam Heydrich. Katrina Riak. Norhan Saleh. And Katie Wilkinson. For the degree of Bachelor of Arts in Applied Social Science, Children and Young People, Elizabeth Edwards. Asasia Welburn. For the degree of Bachelor of Arts in Applied Social Science, Crime and Criminal Justice, Holly Agar. Toma Bennett. Eleanor Carmichael. Harris Glanville. Alice Gould. Lucy Gould. Faye Herdman. Maxwell Horton. Jude Law. Ravina Mahindru. Emily Marwick. Madeline Revel. Laura Robertshaw. And Ellis Thomas. For the degree of Bachelor of Arts in Social Policy, Harley Sister White. Alexander Everall. Joanne Moore. Eleanor Old. Cameron Partridge. Hazel Rimmer. And Zheji Wang. For the degree of Bachelor of Arts in Social Work, Renee Alliong. Sophie Battles. Hannah Close. Victoria Cohen. Hayley Cooper. Emily Alice Doherty. Alexandra Farkas. Gabrielle Gardner. Georgina Graham. Hope Harrison. Windy Ho. Lois Kenchington Irons. Rutenda Katokwa. Kimberly Lancaster. Paula Latham. Jazz McCutcheon. Sarah McLean. Danielle Mills. Kat Newitt. Lauren Oakley. Megan Rangeley. Senthil Kumar Venkatesan. Emma Vickers. And Stephanie Wood. For the degree of Bachelor of Arts, Keisha Whitaker-Levy.
It is my enormous pleasure to introduce Lucy Gould, our student orator who will speak on behalf of the class of 2018. Our student orators have been invited to speak in recognition of their hard work on behalf of the student community and commitment to their studies. Our speakers have both pursued the most enriching experience they could during their time at the University of York, as well as giving back to their community. On behalf of the class of 2018, I give you Lucy Gould.
Good morning, my fellow graduates. Firstly, I would like to thank the university for giving me the honour to represent the class of 2018. This is certainly something that I would never thought that I would be doing today. I would like all of the staff and graduates in this room to join me in remembering back to the very first day that we sat in this hall, awaiting our welcome from the University of York. I'm sure that the memory of our first day will never fade. Today, I stand here, feeling proud of not only myself, but of all the graduates in front of me. Today we celebrate and look forward to the future. As much as today is a celebration of our hard work, we should also congratulate ourselves on the difficulties that we have overcome. Prior to attending the University of York, I studied at a very average state school in a small town where university isn't really the first option after college. I still remember the day when I was accepted to the University of York, and I was speechless, but also incredibly motivated to begin my new academic experience. Although my journey was not as simple as one may wish, but I believe that most of you can also relate. I experienced downfalls and feelings of self-doubt, but thanks to the support of my department, I also experienced feelings of accomplishment and have been truly inspired by my lecturers. Although we graduate today in our chosen discipline, we also graduate with the knowledge that resilience is one of the most important qualities that one can hold in respect to a successful life. Take, for instance, the contemporary discussion of the snowflake generation, a concept that claims that young people like ourselves are constantly trying to avoid any stressful or emotionally challenging situations. But I, for one, believe that everyone sitting in front of me today are perfect examples of individuals who challenge this concept. University has provided us with the opportunity to grow as individuals, to learn and to think in a critical way, to challenge opinions, to experience negativity, but also to be able to find solutions. Resilience also plays a role in terms of our mental health. To be resilient means to be able to maintain a stable mental well-being. And although our emotional well-being may have differed day to day throughout our journeys, we have succeeded and we've achieved our academic goal. We all have our own personal goals, but our goals are not achievable without being able to recover quickly from difficulties, to learn and to move on from any problems that may arise. We, as individuals, have had the power to do this. We've been able to change the way that we feel about situations. We've been able to adapt and to face different challenges. And we will continue to do so. Because once someone learns how to be resilient, it never fades, and we continue to become stronger each and every day. On behalf of myself and my fellow graduates, I would like to thank everyone who has helped us complete our journey here. Personally, I'd like to thank my mum and dad for consistently providing support and enthusiasm. I'd like to thank Ms Sharon Grace, Dr Rachel Morris, Dr Lisa O'Malley and Dr Zoe Irving for supporting me and most of all inspiring me throughout my 3 years here. And finally, I'd like to thank every single member of staff at the University of York for helping us gain a valuable experience and who has made our time here truly unforgettable. Congratulations, graduates. Thank you.
Chancellor, the author William Faulkner once observed, "Never be afraid to raise your voice for honesty and truth, and compassion against injustice, and lying and greed. If people all over the world would do this, it would change the earth." In this context, therefore, it gives me enormous pleasure to present to you Gavin Esler, an award-winning television and radio broadcaster, novelist, and journalist, whose commitment to uncovering the truth reinforces the importance and necessity for strong ethical journalism in what is euphemistically called the post-truth era. Through his work, Gavin has raised the voice of honesty and truth. He has fought against injustice and lying, and in so doing, he has changed lives for the better. Gavin's commitment to justice and equality do not only resonate with this university's founding principles, but with our continuing focus on evidence-based research that seeks to provide solutions for a range of global and national injustices. These are values that we are proud to be celebrating today in awarding this honorary degree. From the beginning of Gavin's decision to work for the Belfast Telegraph during some of the wars of the Troubles is indicative of how unafraid he is to work in challenging environments. It was during his time there that he honed the determination to uncover and identify the truth. His investigative work on the wrongful convictions of Giuseppe Conlon and his own jury, as part of the conviction of the so-called Guildford 4 and Maguire 7, innocent people convicted of bombing offences on the basis of non-existent or unreliable evidence, was a key contributor to the eventual overturn of these verdicts. Gavin's face will be familiar to most of you from his time as a BBC correspondent from all around the world. In his role, he was a witness to the execution of power in its many forms and how power is used and abused. For 8 years, Gavin held the position of Chief North American Correspondent for the BBC, based in Washington and covering the Bush and Clinton administrations. He has also reported from countries as diverse as China, Peru, Cuba, Russia, Iran, Saudi Arabia, and all across Europe. In his work, he has been acknowledged by a Royal Television Society Award for a TV documentary about Alaska, a Sony Gold Award for his BBC radio investigation, Letters from Guantanamo. The BBC obtained access to the biggest cache of letters to come out of Guantanamo for someone still detained there, an Al Jazeera cameraman, Sami Al-Hajj, who was picked up on the Pakistan-Afghan border. Sami Al-Hajj was held and interrogated more than 130 times without being charged with any offense, without a trial, and without any sentence. He therefore had no hope of being freed. Shortly after the broadcast of Gavin's radio investigation, though, he was released. Gavin's work also highlights the continuing need for organizations such as the BBC, who are impartial observers of the truth. If we can take away any lesson today from Gavin's achievements, it is the importance of listening impartially to the many, often conflicting opinions we hear or read in today's hyper-connected world, and not to be afraid to stand up for what we think is right. Chancellor, for upholding journalistic standards of integrity and for demonstrating the importance of speaking truth to power, I am delighted and honoured to present Gavin Esler for the degree of Doctor of the University, honoris causa.
Most Honourable Chancellor, graduates and guests. Thank you very much for this great honour, and thanks to York University for being such an inspirational source of knowledge and education. And thanks too to the City of York, where I always feel at home, even though currently it seems to be the monsoon season. I've been asked to say a few words to those of you who've graduated today, but first I wanted to talk to the families, friends and supporters, because you did it too. Give yourself a round of applause. Now, for those who worked so hard to get a degree, I'll never forget a couple of years ago a very intelligent member of the British government who said, "We've had enough of experts. The British people have had enough of experts." I disagree. Lack of expertise appears to be a block to many careers, although perhaps one might say within government it's less of a problem. The son-in-law of the current American president said also a few months ago, "We've read enough books." I haven't read enough books. When it comes to expertise, I want to be flown in a plane with somebody who has done the job before. I don't want to get into a taxi where someone says, "Buckle up, it's going to be a heck of a ride." And I don't want to go to a dentist who says, "I've never studied dentistry, but if you open your mouth, I'll have a look." Fortunately, I'm in a room filled with experts, university staff, graduates and others. So may I suggest we take this opportunity to think a little bit about expertise and how important it is. Universities exist to stand behind Enlightenment values. We believe in facts. We believe in science, in critical thinking, in rigour. We believe in expertise. I hope your generation will stand up for expertise and facts to counter those who talk about alternative facts and so-called fake news. And I hope your generation will admire those who do things and don't merely talk about things. I also hope your generation may be somewhat suspicious of this awful word, authentic. I've met many people around the world, many leaders around the world, who claim to authenticity, and some are authentically good, and some are authentically pretty awful. It's not a value in itself, it seems to me. And just one final thought. I was reflecting on your speech from the student orator. I was born into a council house in Glasgow where I live with my parents, my grandmother and 2 aunties. The fact that I'm here today is due to a number of circumstances, including a great deal of love for my family, and I'm very proud that my son James, who graduated from here 2 years ago, is with me today. But I'm also here because of an education at school and at various universities, which opened my mind to all kinds of possibilities, as you rightly discussed. I'm sure being at university has opened your minds and will continue to do so. Have confidence. The future is within your grasp. You first just have to imagine it. And it's sometimes said in this country that the private sector is the wealth-creating sector. Well, I'm very, very proud of the expertise of British business. I think it's wonderful. We have superb businesses, entrepreneurs and business leaders. But one of the biggest engines of wealth creation in this country is right here. It's people who teach our children, the people who keep us healthy, the people who keep our streets clean and keep us safe. These are the people who helped me, and I'd suggest have also helped you to thrive. So, if you choose a career in private business, good luck to you. We need intelligent experts in private businesses. If you choose public service, good luck to you. We also need a strong public sector. Public and private, it seems to me, are like our left and right legs. You need them both to work in order to move fast forward. So, good luck with the choices ahead of you, and thank you again, Chancellor, for this great honour. Thank you.
Ladies and gentlemen, in a few moments I will formally close the proceedings, but before I do, please allow me an opportunity to say a few words of reflection. The first is, what does it feel like to be standing up here and shaking those hands of the students who successfully navigate the gangway? And the answer is, you could not be more privileged than to have such a responsibility, and more humbled than what we learn about what our students have studied. I often wish that I had much longer to talk to each of you, and I apologize that the process doesn't allow of that, but when I hear of the subjects that were the focal points of those PhDs, when I listen to the names of the degrees, of the years abroad, and the interdisciplinarity of the programs, you get a sense of an extraordinary engine of activity and of intellectual development that exists in this university. And thank you, each of you, who ventured a few comments for me. I think the compliments on my gown were much appreciated. Thank you. Thank you for that. But also those of you who said these have been the best years of your life. Those of you who said, as one girl said to me yesterday, do you know, I would be nowhere without this university. And the comments like that, to me, reflect what this place is truly about. It's not about buildings. It's not about laboratories. It's not about libraries or playing fields. It's actually about a community. A university is a community for the long term. And I think I would like, on your behalf, to express our thanks to the members of staff of this university, the academic staff, the support staff, the teamwork that exists behind the scenes that makes everything run and provides that cultural nourishment and intellectual stimulation from which you've benefited. Our staff are today represented by a distinguished group who are with us in the auditorium, but of course there are many thousands of others. But would you please join me in expressing through them our gratitude for everything the staff have done during your time here. Secondly, some words of specific thanks. I'd like to express the thanks of all of us to E. Anonymy, the a cappella choir, who sang so beautifully. And did you realize that both of those numbers had each of them been arranged by members of the choir, by George Clark and by Sylve Pybus? Fantastic arrangements in which those melodies and harmonies merged in and out of each other. So a fantastic achievement from our student community. And then a particular vote of thanks to Lucy Gould, our student orator. Do you know it's not easy to stand up here? It's not easy to stand up here anyway, but actually to stand up and talk to your peer group is a particular challenge. Lucy, thank you for your inspiring words. And to Gavin Esler also, I thought a most inspiring speech in response to the award of the honorary degree. Thank you very much, Gavin. So I'm about to draw proceedings to a close. What I propose to do is we're going to all stand up. We're going to express our congratulations and celebrations to the graduating class. This is the best graduating class this year so far. And we're going to stand up and congratulate them. I declare this congregation closed.